Hello everyone. So first of all, let's check whether you hear me well or not. So can you write in the chat box, do you hear me well, guys? Okay. Okay. Okay, great. So Ruben Alexanian doesn't hear me well. What about now? Do you hear me? Okay, so great. So let's proceed now. So first of all, some technical problems. Connect to the internet directly if possible. Wear your microphone and headphones. And refresh your web browser, okay, if you have any problems. Or you can just simply log out and log in again, okay? Great. Now a few words about me. I'm Anay Chapudan and I'm an English language expert. I work at Karanyan Online School. I have been teaching TOEFL for 8 years from now. Today we are going to speak about TOEFL iBT reading section, and we will cover reference and inference questions and also some vocabulary part, okay? This course is designed for those who are going to take the TOEFL test in the nearest future and who have intermediate level of English or upper intermediate, okay? But anyway, if should you have any questions, you're welcome, and anytime to ask me, I will be just glad to answer all of them. So first of all, our lesson objectives. We will improve our reading skills through reference questions, inference questions, and of course vocabulary questions. Is it clear so far? Okay. So the basic question categories are two: basic information and inferences, and reading to learn questions. So first question types, they are 8: factual information questions, negative factual information questions, inference questions, yes, rhetorical purpose questions, vocabulary questions, reference questions, sentence simplification questions, and insert text questions. These type of questions generally ask you about a specific part, okay, or of the passage, not of the whole passage. So to answer these questions, you must master, you have to master specific skills for a concrete sentence, okay? And reading to learn questions, they ask you about the whole reading part. So to answer these questions, you must understand the passage or the whole reading topic, okay? We will today cover reference questions and inference questions and also vocabulary questions. The other question types, I guess, is clear to all of you. If not, I will define just very shortly. We will discover about our upcoming webinars, okay, during our upcoming webinars. So factual information questions, they generally ask you about the information, whether it is true or not, a sentence, okay? Negative information questions, they ask you to answer which question is not, which sentence is not correct, okay? So they can appear like this. All the sentences are correct except, and you have to tell which one. Inference questions, they generally appear like this. What can be inferred or what can be implied from this? Okay, so rhetorical purpose questions. They ask you what the author present, what the author wanting to say by this. Vocabulary questions, they generally want you to substitute synonyms, yes, to find the synonyms or the word which is closest to the meaning of the word. Reference questions, we will find out it uh, a little later, you will see that they mainly are connected with the pronouns. Okay. Sentence simplification questions, it is about paraphrasing mainly. And insert text questions, so you have to insert a specific sentence in the highlighted part, okay? And pro summary and fill in the table, as I have already told, they are about the whole passage, okay? So this is just a little glimpse of reading section. Now let's go ahead. This activity is really a useful tool for those who are going to take or who are going just to start learning TOEFL test, okay, and reading part especially. When you have, for example, topic about case, first of all, try to write down what you already know, yes, about that topic, and then what you want to learn about that topic, and then when you read the passage, write down what you have already learned about it. This is just about passive practice. When you are practicing it actively, this activity isn't useful anymore. But when you are just starting practicing your TOEFL test, this activity can really be helpful. Okay, so this way you will understand what you already know about the topic, and it will be easier for you to read and understand the content. What is it about? Okay, is it clear, this activity? And I really recommend all of you who are going to take the TOEFL test and who are going to prepare, so try to apply to this activity. Okay. Okay. Then types of reference questions. Tips for reference questions. Okay, sorry. These questions ask you to identify referential relationship between the words in the passage or words in the passage. So generally, if your reference, yes, is about a pronoun, make sure that it is of the same like or it is singular or plural, yes, or it is of the same case. For example, it is first person, or yes, it is second person. So just make sure about this, and it will be easier. And one important tip also for reference questions is that you try to substitute the word you have with the pronoun. And when they correspond, so it means that you are on the right path. Okay? So try to substitute and make sure that they are of the same number and of the same case. Okay? And of the same person. First person, second person, okay? So for example, if you have they, make sure to find something in plural. If you have it, so you should find something in singular. Okay, is it clear? Okay. These questions ask also while finding these questions, some tips for these questions can be: if the pronoun is preceded by a comma, seek out the subject immediately preceding the comma. Just when you have comma, after that, search the subject. It will be in the same sentence as the pronoun, not far away, okay? If the pronoun is preceded by a period, seek out the subject of the sentence immediately preceding the period, okay? So if it is a pronoun and if it is a comma there, so it won't be far. Don't search too far, okay? But generally remember that in these sentences you have to read first sentence preceding the inferential part and the second sentence. Okay, so you will find answer within the two sentences. Okay, now two things to remember, two vital and important things for you to remember. The reference almost comes before the reference word in the passage. The reference is not always the noun which is closer to the reference word. Okay, so sometimes you can think that okay, it is the same now. It is closer to the pronoun, so maybe this is the reference, but not. Okay, so understand the meaning, and also yes, as I have already mentioned, pay attention to number and like a first person or second person. Okay, to the fourth. Okay. Is it clear, this part, or no? So I guess it will be much clearer. Okay. So it will be much clearer if I show you some practical part. Okay. So let's practice. Let's read this short passage and tell me which is the correct answer. So let me underline the word that needs to be reference. So it is here. So you see, eat. Now read this passage and tell me the word eat in the passage refers to night, sun, passage, or data. Okay? You have 1 minute for reading it. Okay, Liana thinks that it is passage. Okay, thank you, Liana. Sun, Ruben thinks that it is sun. Liana Garbajan again thinks that it is sun. Melina thinks it is sun. Okay, so let's read and see. I'm reading from the second sentence. The Mayans believed that the passage of the sun continued throughout the night, only then it was traveling through the underworld. So what? Yes, what was traveling? The sun, of course. Okay, so the correct answer was sun. Okay, thank you, the ones who answered correctly. Okay. Now let's go on again for the practical part. Now please read this small passage and I will tell you which words to highlight. Here it is. Okay, I can read it for you. So for animals, some barriers are behavioral. The blue-spotted salamander lives only on mountain slopes in the southern Appalachian highlands. Although these creatures could survive in the river valleys, they never venture there. Birds that fly long distances often remain in very limited areas. Kirkland replied, I found only in a few places in Michigan in the summer and fly to the Bahamas in winter. No physical barriers restricts the warblers to these two locations, yet they never spread beyond these boundaries. So here is the answer. Okay, so let's go to the question part and find yes. So the phrase these two locations in the passage refers to Michigan and the Appalachian Highlands, Brazil and Bahamas, the Bahamas, the Appalachian Highlands and Brazil, the Bahamas, and a few places in Michigan. Is it clear, or you want me to go back to the passage? Okay, when I'm Klein thinks that it is number A. Okay. The first one, okay. So I'm going back again. I'm highlighting the place, okay, to these two locations. So Kirkland parabolas are found only in a few places in Michigan in the summer and fly to the Bahamas in winter. So pay attention, in a few places in Michigan in the summer and fly to the Bahamas in winter. Then I go back. These two locations. So now, what was the answer? The last one, of course, yes. Is it clear why the last one? Because from this sentence, it is clearly stated that Kirkland's warblers are found only in a few places in Michigan in the summer and fly to the Bahamas in winter. So from here, you understand that these two locations, it is speaking about these two locations, a few places in Michigan, and about the Bahamas. Okay? Understand why the answer was the last one and not the first one? Or you need some clarification? Was it clear or okay? Okay. Okay, great. Thank you very much for your answer. Now let's go on. Now here, I underline the words that you have to refer. Okay. Now the underlined words. To what part or to what noun do they refer? X-rays allow art historians to examine paintings internally without damaging them. Damaging what? Without damaging what? So try to replace. If you, now I want your answer and I will tell the easiest way to do it. You can just simply replace it with the noun. For example, let's choose historians. X-rays allow art historians to examine paintings in, okay, X-rays. So first answer is X-rays, you think. Second is floors and water. Third, okay, paintings internally. Paintings. Okay, so the first and correct answer is painting. Why? For example, if we try to just substitute X-ray with them, X-ray allows art historians to examine paintings internally without damaging X-rays? No. Without damaging what? Paintings. Okay? Only and only paintings can be substituted here. Okay? And about the second one, so florists. Okay. Flowers, someone wrote flowers, Liana, okay. Are there any versions? Any more versions? Flowers, and someone wrote florists, yes? Okay. So let's try to substitute florists. Florists often refrigerate cut flowers to protect their fresh appearance. Can it be? Of course not. So the correct answer is cut flowers. Yes, to protect flowers. Okay, so the correct answer is flowers. And what about the third one? Yes, fresh belongs flowers. Yes, you're right, Ruben Alexandrian. Thank you very much. Now, what about the third one, guys? Water isn't, okay, water. Yeah, good for you. Thank you. All of you are right. Yes. Okay, so water is an exception to many of nature rules because of water's, yes, usually unusual properties. So the correct answer is water. Okay, great. So let's go ahead. So inference questions. Uh, about inference questions, I would like to say that here you must be much more careful than like compared reference questions, because inference questions, they measure your ability to comprehend an argument or an idea that is strongly implied but not clearly, explicitly, yes, it means clearly stated in the text. So it is not like explicitly stated. You must, what you have to do is to read between the lines, to understand what can be inferred, what the meaning can be, but it is not clearly stated. Okay, so that's why it is hard to understand. For improving your inference questions, your knowledge in inference questions, I strongly recommend you to do a lot of translation. I'm not afraid saying that, because a lot of people say that translations are not good for the language, but I am more than sure, and I can claim that they are a good tool to improve your inference questions. Because unless you translate, yes, uh, you can understand what they want to say. Okay. So strategies for this question. To answer this question, you must be able to read between the lines. Yes, as I have already mentioned. They can appear with the following word: imply and refer. Which of the following does the passage imply? It can be inferred from the passage that, the author suggests that, it is probable that. So this type of question can appear in the TOEFL test. Okay. So now let's go to practical part, and we will find out what is not clear to you. Okay. So please try to read it for 2 minutes. I know it's a long test, so it needs time. So you can read it for 2 minutes. And then I will go to the question. And I'm reading it for you. The body that impacted Earth at the end of the Cretaceous period was a meteorite with a 15 mass of more than 1 trillion tons and a diameter of at least 10 kilometers. Scientists first identified this impact in 1980 from the worldwide layer of sediment deposit from the dark cloud that enveloped the planet after the impact. This sediment layer is enriched in the rare metal iridium and other elements that are relatively abundant in a meteorite but very rare in the crust of Earth. Even diluted by the terrestrial meteors excavated from the crater, this component of meteorite is easily identified. By 1990, geologists had located, so I want you to pay attention here, had located the impact site itself in the Yucatan region of Mexico. The crater, now deeply buried in sediment, was originally about 200 kilometers in diameter. Okay, so now I go to the question. So which of the following can be inferred from this passage about the location of the meteorite impact in Mexico? What can be inferred? What you understand by that passage? I know it can be a little bit hard or distracting for you, but if you are upper intermediate users of English, so it can be okay for you. The location of the impact site in Mexico was kept secret by geologists from 1980 to 1990. It was a well-known fact that the impact had occurred in the Yukon region, and geologists knew that there had been an impact before they knew where it had. The first answer, okay, Ruben Alexanyan. What about the others? What do you think? I have underlined this part for you to pay attention because here is the answer. In this part, you can find the answer. So, by 1990, geologists had located the impact site itself. From this sentence, you could have guessed the answer. So, the correct answer is number C. Why? Simply because it says geologists knew that there had been an impact before they knew where it had occurred. So it means that before it occurring, they knew where it should have occurred. From this, we come to understand that had located by 1990, geologists had located the impact. So from here, we understand that they have already yes, some knowledge about it. Besides, it said scientists first identified this impact, yes. So first identified it, okay. From this, we could also have inferred. Okay, is it clear or it was hard for you? Okay. Now I guess these ones are much easier. If a metal worker from 3,000 years ago could somehow travel forward in time, he would recognize virtually every step of the lost wax process that today is used to cast titanium for jet engines. Okay? Okay, Liana. I hope that this one is okay. Now, so what can be inferred from these three sentences? So which sentence is the correct one? Okay, you have 30 seconds, okay, to think it over. But I am telling you that this is really easy. This is not like the one you had. If a metal worker from 3,000 years ago, number A, okay, Ruben Alexanyan, why do you think that it's number A? Titan has been here should be forgotten, sorry, there is some mistake. Okay, Liana Karapejan, okay, good for you. It's number B. Why it's number B? Because it says that 3,000 years ago could somehow travel forward in time, he would recognize virtually every step of the lost wax, yes, that today is used. So we, okay, no problem. So we understand that the lost wax method of casting metals is very old, yes? Metal worker from 3,000 years ago could somehow travel forward. He would understand what it is. It means that this method is very old. Okay? But I would like you to draw your attention also on number C, because number C isn't incorrect either. But it says that has changed very little. Nothing is said about this, but it can be inferred somehow also. But this one is more like clear. Yes, that's why number B is the correct version. Okay. Then let's go to number 2. When apple growers talk about new varieties of apples, they don't mean something developed last month, last year, or even in the last decade. So this is also very clear. So try to guess. Last year or even in the last decade. So it means that they don't mean something developed last month, last year, or even in the last decade. Okay, Liana. Apple growers have not developed any new variety in recent decades. You think that it's number A? I would like you to read more carefully and to understand. For example, even you can translate in your own language. When apple growers talk about new varieties of apples, they don't mean something developed last month, last year, or even in the last decade. So we understand that it usually takes a long time to develop apples, yes? Number C, of course, Liana, of course, yes. It takes a long time to develop, okay? So it is not so easy to guess the right version. You must go inside. You must read it at least 2 times to guess, yes, and to grasp the meaning correctly. Okay. So high levels of serum cholesterol used to be thought of as a problem only for adults. Okay. So which answer is correct? You again have 30 minutes. So there are some words which really can help you. They are usually linking words, but most usual they are like emphasizing words. For example, only for adults, as a problem only for adults. So high-level assessment used to be thought of as a problem only for adults. Yes, great, great, thank you. Yes, the correct answer is number C. Good for you. Thank you very much. Okay, Armine Ruben, you're right. Great. Now, here, again, you have about 30 minutes. Okay, so go on reading. Alpha, Alpha Centauri, one of the closest stars to Earth, is just 4.3 light years away. It can be seen only from the southern hemisphere. However, the closest star, yes, is a tiny red star, Proxima Centauri, which is not visible without a telescope. So I'm waiting for your correct answers. Okay. C or B? Okay, Liana thinks it is B. Armenia also it is B. Okay. Why do you think it's number B? Because it says Alpha Centauri, one of the closest stars to Earth, is just 4.3 light years away. It can be seen only from the southern hemisphere. However, the closest star is a tiny red star Proxima Centauri, which is not visible without a telescope. Okay, no. No, not number A and not B, it's number C. Why number C? Because it says it's closer than 4.3 light years from the Earth. Okay? Because here it says, so just be attentive. Alpha Centauri, one of the closest stars, yes, is just this away, yes? It says it is away from the Earth. And then it says that, however, the closest star is. So which one is the closest star? Yes, is just closer than. Yes, is closest star is a tiny red star, Proxima, which is not visible without a telescope. So we understand that this one closer than light years, it means only that it is closer than 40 light years. Okay, maybe this part uh, was distracting you. Yes, because of this part you got lost, but it says that it is much closer. Yes, so it is closer than Alpha Centauri. Alpha Centauri is one of the closest, but Proxima Centauri is closer than Alpha Centauri. Okay? Do you understand or not? So it says that Alpha Centauri, okay, it is closest. It is one of the closest, not the closest. One of the closest. But it says then that Proxima Centauri, it is the closest, okay, star, the closest one. Okay, that's why the answer is number C. Of course, it is not easy to understand, and it somehow distracts the reader. Okay, there are always some kinds of questions that you should argue about, that are not clear, that you have to simplify, to read them, to understand between the lines. Okay. Now we're going to the most funny part, and I really like vocabulary questions because this way you can enrich your vocabulary, and this is not just improving it with one lesson or something like this, but I have prepared for you some synonyms. Now find the word of the similar meaning. I would like you to find the word which has the same meaning, yes, and just group them. I'm sure this can help you not only in TOEFL, not only taking the TOEFL test, but generally it will enrich your vocabulary. So huge. I can say that huge, it means big, yes? So what can be the synonym of huge? Great, Liana, enormous. We find here enormous. Yes, risky and safe. Great. What others? Just write the ones that you find. It is also okay. So huge, enormous, risky and safe. But I tell that there are more than two. There are either 3 or 4 or even 5. Okay. So great, heroic, great, Ruben. Colossal, yes, colossal is the synonym of huge, enormous, and colossal we have dirty, unclean, great. Mhm. Okay, calm, peaceful, great. Obstinate, stubborn, yes. Good for you, Hasnik. What else? Dirty, unclean. Are there any more synonyms that you found or humble? No, no, Liana, no. Humble, it means meek, modest. Okay? Risky, perilous, it can be. But yes, risky, perilous, dangerous, hazardous. Okay. So gallant, what can be the synonym of gallant? Gallant, heroic. Okay. Did you found any others or? So what about polluted? No one mentioned it. Polluted, unclean. Okay. So polluted, unclean, foul. Okay. Dirty. Yes. Great, Liana. And what about fatigue? They are just next to it. Fatigue and tired. Okay, fatigue, tired. After this, I will show you the correct answers and modest, humble. Yes, great, Hasmik. Modest, humble. One more. Modest, humble, meek. Okay, meek. Here we have as the synonym. I will show you the correct answers and I would like you to take a sheet of paper and a pen to write them down because they can really be useful. And it's not so easy just to find so many synonyms. So just you'd better jot down. Jot down, put down, write down, they are also synonyms. Okay, now let's go and see the correct answers. Okay, and what about, do you know what it means? Can you find a synonym of each, the last one, and I will proceed. Artful. Artful, sly, crafty. Okay, let's find where it is crafty. Okay, here it is, crafty and deceitful. Do we have it here? Yes, here it is, deceitful. Okay, so I'm showing you the correct answers. Tired, exhausted, yes, Hasnik. So we have tired, exhausted, fatigue. Also, okay, so let's go on. So let's see. We have answers are like this. Colossal, huge, enormous, paramount. Calm, peaceful, still, tranquil. Dirty, foul, polluted, contaminated. Okay? Brave, gallant, heroic, courageous. Dangerous, unsafe, risky, hazardous, perilous. Silly, artful, crafty, deceitful. Obstinate, stubborn, headstrong. Humble, meek, modest. Tired, exhausted, fatigued, weary. They don't have exactly the same meaning, but they have the similar meaning. So you can study them, and after that you can just find out in what situations each of them used. But mostly, many of them can be used at the same situation. Okay? Was it clear to you? Okay, great. Okay. So can I continue? Can I go on? So now vocabulary questions can appear like this. These questions ask you to identify the meaning of the individual words and phrases as they are used in the reading passage. Okay? But if you know their synonyms, if you know in what context and contents they are used, you can substitute with the synonyms or the similar meaning. You can understand it from the content. Okay? Now let's understand what the word pause means in this passage. Okay? So you have the T section. There is increasing evidence that the impacts of meteorites have had important effects on Earth, particularly in the field of biological evolution. Such impacts continue to pose a natural, so you have it, pose a natural hazard. Yes, we have already studied hazards to life on Earth. Twice in the 20th century, large meteorite objects are known to have collided with Earth. Collide, it means to go together. Okay? Negative. So it has negative meaning. Such impacts continue to pose a natural. So which can be the correct answer? Even if you don't know the word, okay, claim, no, because claim, it has really different meaning. We say someone claims, he claims to have seen, for example, Princess Diana. Present, yes, yes, Ruben Alexandria, you're right, it's present, okay? We understand to present a natural hazard, yes? To present, sorry, to present, okay? To present natural, okay. Mhm. Right. So let's go ahead. Now, excavating. This impact releases an enormous amount of energy. Now we know what enormous means. It means huge, paramount, colossal. Um, excavating a crater about twice as large as the lunar crater Tycho. Okay, so excavating. What can mean it here? I can say that here it has negative meaning. What is it? Number A, destroying. Yes, Marina. Yes, great. You're right. Here it is destroying. Yes, Ruben. And Liana, digging out, it can be. Okay, here. So the only version here is destroying, because I also mentioned that it has negative meaning. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead. The word consumed. Let's find it in the passage. It's here. So starting widespread fires that must have consumed most terrestrial forests. So what we understand from here? What meaning does it have here? So you have 30 seconds here. Marina, no, not changed, not changed, no. No, Liana, not B. Consumed must have terrestrial forest, and from forest, what can we understand? Negative impact on forest. What can be? It can be destroyed. Yes. So here is again destroyed. Okay. Okay, yes, it is destroyed. Let's go ahead. Perspective. So let's find in a passage that perspective fundamentally changes our view of biological evolution. So just think over it, understand it in the context, and try to tell. What perspective? Okay, great. Yeah, you're right. It's point of view. Yes, good for you. So, such a point of view, yes. So it can be substituted and it makes sense here. Okay, great. So next, several other, now I have already underlined it here. Mhm. So tentatively, you must know the meaning of this word, or else it will be hard for you to guess it. Several other mass extinctions in the geological record have been. Okay, you think it's number billion now. Okay, are there any versions, any more versions, or no? Okay, number A, number C, I can say that here it means identified without certainty. So they are not sure yet while identifying with large impact, but none is so dramatic. Okay, so they identified without certainty. The correct answer is number B. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Um, do you have any questions connected with this with these three reading questions, like reference questions, inference questions, vocabulary questions? Okay. So if no, okay. So I hope that at least you guessed some, you gained some information. Okay. Practicing it at home, I can recommend you while practicing to have at least one TOEFL book. Uh, as, as your guide to the TOEFL, I would recommend the official guide. It is clarified and it is really proved by ETS who organized the TOEFL test. So take this book and practice it as much as possible. Also, if you want to practice at home, just find any passage, but please academic one. Okay, so find any academic passage. There can be journals, there can be some newspapers, okay? And try to read and identify the main information. And also pay attention to the details, because reading is not only gaining the main idea. You can understand what the main idea is. But if you don't understand the meaning of a specific passage, you won't pass the reading section. Okay, so that's why just be attentive not only for the whole meaning, to grasp and understand the whole meaning, but also to minor details which can occur in the passage. Okay. Uh, so just start with some newspapers. Okay. So one more time, I want you to thank all of you for attending our courses. I, I represent Kahanat Online School, and I want to tell you that in this school you can find a range of courses, yes, language courses and also computer courses. This is our Facebook page. You can attend and join it. And also our website is karkanyan.com. karhanyanschool.com, karhanyanschool.com. You can attend it and find the course which corresponds to your needs and requirements. Okay, thank you all of you. I hope that you will have already improved by the next lesson your skills in English, and it will be much easier for you. Thank you very much, and bye. See you.